And
Yeah.
can we point out that Mom has made it to Grand Prix and gotten a Diamond Award rider, not being a size zero. Chelsea's not a size zero. I'm not a size zero. None of us are like that. But we've all made it far enough in our riding without having to freaking eat water all day. So we've
You
all
don't
made
have
it
to
this
have
far.
the willowy dressage rider body to do
You
well
do
in the
not have to
sport. You
have
just
long
really
legs,
don't.
long arms, a tall, skinny neck. You don't need to be 90 pounds soaking wet. You can do it
Right.
no matter what. It is
Yeah.
fine. Do
And
not
and I
worry.
do have to point out because I have done what 5 or 6 clinics each year with different high and like some of our high judges, and not a single one of them ever said like, hey, you need to lose weight. Hey, you'd look better if you did this. No, they're like, Chelsea, you need to move your arms. You need to do this. Like they would give me like the
Mm-hmm.
pointers of which I was not doing in the test. So like
Right.
don't ever take that we are thinking anybody needs to lose weight or anything like that. Take it as it will help.
Yeah. We're
If
just
your
trying to do
trainer's telling
better.
you to diet and lose weight, then your trainer's probably not very nice. Let's face it.
Yeah.
I don't think a trainer
Yes.
should ever tell
Very
you
true.
to lose weight. That's not proper. It's not
Yeah,
appropriate.
I met a woman many years ago. We were at an award ceremony and she was riding with a different trainer and she just happened to be at the same table as me. And she was talking about being fit enough to ride her horse. And she was saying that she spent 2 hours in the gym every day and she still wasn't fit enough to ride her horse. And I was like, oh, wow, something is wrong with your training program with your horse because there's no way it should be that hard. So yeah, and that's something also like we've been talking about in the dressage world, it's been a hot button topic, is why I brought this up to sit or not to sit, is because we've been discussing a lot in the last year or so whether or not to allow people to rise the trot in up to third level or even above third level because the quality of how the horse goes can a lot of times be better if there's somebody like Chelsea, who, let's face it, is the majority of our sport, is the everyday rider that is working and trying to also show and do everything, compete. And so if she wants to move up, but her fitness level isn't such that she can ride those big gates for that 5 minutes at a time, and instead is kind of jarring on her horse's back, it lessens the quality of the test. And nobody wants to see that. The judge, the spectators, nobody wants to see that she's struggling to sit the trot and it's also not making the horses happy, right? So I think that that is something that I hope our judges can agree on at some point, that rising would be okay in that instance. And I have said to a friend before, if not, then I think the judges need to get right with the PRE and illusion invasion because they're so much easier to sit for the average rider. I was talking to my 15-year-old working student yesterday, and she said that her core is no longer strong because she's been helping me ride all the PREs because they're so easy to sit. You don't have to have such a strong core as you do with a warm blood. And so that's a kind of a huge selling point for people who have that issue. I think Cloud Break actually is a warm blood that's fairly easy to sit,
He's very
actually.
easy to sit.
Yeah. So you're lucky with that.
He's not as springy, so there's not much room.
Hmm.
I can get him there to where I'm like moving those hips, but he's not like where it was with Rue, where I was like, oh dear God, I've got to get through. We're almost there. We made it to the extended trot. Oh, I'm kind of standing. And none of the judges ever marked me down on that. They would always do it like on relaxation and this. And I'm like, yeah, no kidding. I'm holding my breath. I'm not relaxed. He's not relaxed. Would to sit, not to sit. I think that's such a great subject. I'm not saying we shouldn't be sitting the trot. We should. We should all strive to be that great.
Sure.
But yeah,
But at the same time,
And
I
if
don't know
you
how. Oh, sorry.
go ahead, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say I don't know how many people I've talked to that are like, I really want to get to this level, but I have to sit the trot at that level, so I can't get to that level ever. I'm just gonna stay in first level for the rest of my life, and I'm like, that's not good. Like that
Yeah,
shouldn't be the
that's
one
still
thing
not
stopping
fun.
you from reaching your levels that you want to hit.
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. I agree with that. And or I can't sit the medium trot. So then the medium trot is this bone jarring thing to look at.
Or the extended trot, if your horse really goes for it, then you're just like, oh.
Right. Or like Chelsea said, you're standing in the stirrups, you're kind of faking it, which is okay. But if you can sit the trot, whether your horse you choose a horse that is easier to sit, like I said before, or you go to the gym and you really work on your core for 2 hours a day, like that one lady I mentioned. That sounds awful, but anyway.
Still not fit enough to sit it.
Yeah, right. But either way, if you can sit the trot, you do have a better connection with your horse. You do have a better feeling for everything that's happening underneath you. So I do encourage people to try to find, their way to being able to sit the trot for sure. It's not that. It's just that, if you have a choice between better quality and posting and less quality and sitting, I choose quality.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And with that, we will have Tiffany or Tiff